Here are more notations. I'll start with the ones I showed you earlier. You should already know that these signs use this G hand shape. The other ones use a different hand shape, this one, labeled B. In comparing the sets of notations, you see that what's located in the second slot differs. Switching the G hand shape in brain with the B hand shape gives you no, like this. While me uses the G hand shape, using a B gives you the possessive like this. But if you look again, there's more information inside these two notations. I'll show you exactly what this is next. This subscript helps mark hand orientation. It's called a diacritic and indicates orientation contrast, as indicated here in no. I'll caution you that sometimes this is confused for a movement because it is. Instead of picking a new symbol from what was available on the typewriter, they borrowed a symbol from the movement parameter. Because movement has directionality as well, so they used that for orientation, specifically for the hand. Now this hand shape is oriented like this. There is another sign that you'd get if there were no diacritic with this orientation. This is a sign used for a person's name that starts with a B. So that's the idea. A diacritic is added to help disambiguate signs. No diacritic means that there's only one sign like this, with no other minimally contrastive signs. In these cases, the sign often uses an unmarked orientation. For example, lift your arm like this. You'll naturally have this hand orientation, no matter which way you move, even if you bring your hand to your forehead. But if you change the orientation like this, it'd be marked in the notation. If the hand is rotated outward, then maybe for the sake of clarity, you'd mark the orientation. But if there's no diacritic, then it means that the orientation follows the natural hand position without any rotation or intentional movement. That's why these signs don't have diacritics. No orientation is needed. I've added several more notations to help you see different signs where movement is substituted. These X's indicate contact, but they can be replaced with a different movement, a circular one, as in wonder and who. I put NA in cells for which no sign exists with that pattern. When you want to assemble different features of a parameter following a table like this, you can make a combination and ask a signer if such a sign exists. If it doesn't, mark the cell as not available. The same goes for these two cells. But now I've shown you these two, and I've added ones with that same circular movement. Here's the form of napkin and please. Now, looking at this, you can imagine that notations could be compiled for every word, and you'd find gaps in the lexicon. It's possible that in the future, another sign will emerge, filling the space by using that combination of features. This represents the frequency and distribution of cherems. I'll add a bit more. Note this dividing line. It separates the notations by hand shape. B is used in the ones on the left, and G in the ones on the right. But next, I want to look at how all these signs were organized in the DASL, and how they were sorted. First, I'll show you that their orthography enables compilation of sign tokens. Orthography is not just about the template with its slots and deciding what goes first, location, hand shape, then movement. Stokoe decided on that order for the notations because he wanted location to be first. I'll explain why. Earlier, I divided the notations into two groups based on hand shape. Now, do you think you'd find the words in the dictionary listed according to the hand shape letter, with all the B hand shape signs first, followed by G and so on, in alphabetical order? You might think so, but that's not what they did. They used location. So everything is organized according to the location symbol in the first slot, called tab. So out of all these notations, which do you think would appear first? It'd be this one. What would be second? This one. Because it has the same symbol for location as does this one. So they would all appear before the ones in this row, which are produced at the chin. Next, more signs would follow, ending with the ones produced at the body. Now, that's the sort order, but what if the hand shape is different? This one uses B, while that one uses G, so that's fine. But what about the order of the last two? They would be sorted by movement. Remember the order of the symbols I showed you for movement and how I arranged them into 3 columns? That should help you sort correctly. So signs with the X symbol show up before the ones with the circular symbol. That means if you had to sort these notations, you'd go in this order. Now, in order for Stokoe and his colleagues to conduct lexicography, they knew they would have to decide what to do about the location of the slots. They created this order for the template and made sign notations according to that sequence. Plus, different features used inside a given slot needed an order as well, like this. Once notations are sorted by location, then they're arranged by hand shape in this order. The same goes for movement, following the order of these symbols. And it worked. That means if ever you find out about a signing community, you can make notations of their signs and sort them just like in the Dictionary of ASL. I'll revisit what I mentioned at the start, thinking about the parts of signs needed to successfully organize the Dictionary of ASL. Stokoe's system had each of these lexicographic requirements. Having carefully considered each requirement enabled him to make the dictionary. Now, at the same time, this created an opportunity. Since the components of signs had been identified, they coined the term chirology. Now, a parallel existed for the study and analysis of the components of spoken language, called phonology, which is for sound. For signing, which is visual, the study of its visual components was now called chirology, a new field equivalent to phonology.